Hello, and welcome back to the Voiro podcast. Today I have Arun Kumar with me from ShellKode. This is season 6 and episode 8. Welcome, Arun Kumar, to the Voiro podcast.
Thanks, Kavita, and such an energy that you're bringing.
Yeah, the thing is that when I walked into this office and into this conference room, Gautam, who produces the show along with Santosh and Leena, he said, off late you've been very quiet, very soft on the podcast. And my volume of my voice apparently is very low and you have to keep boosting it. So now this is me being loud and energetic. So that's what you get. So if I'm overpowering you, I'm really sorry. I'm just like acting to brief. All right. So, Arun, you and I met because of the fact that Voiro and ShellKode have worked together in bringing out our AI analyst, who we call Voiro Genie. Yes. And Voiro Genie looks amazing. I've had such a great experience working with ShellKode. And before the podcast started, I was sharing with you why I'm so excited about this entire partnership actually working out. Because like all entrepreneurs, you have your learnings that you have. And back in 2021, when we raised our second round of funding, we decided that we're going to hire a bunch of engineers. And this was at the cusp of the pandemic. And so from a 14-member company, we grew to a 55-member company where at least 60-70% of them were engineers. And we had such a tough time. And then once the pandemic passed and we did a whole bunch of stuff after that, it was time to sort of trim the team as well. And what we realized, and what I realized at least when we were left with the pieces, was that while we were trying to build a good company, we didn't build a good ecosystem, right? Because one of the things that we had studiously stayed away from because of maybe, limitations in our own minds was that we cannot bring external help to help us. We have to solve these problems on our own, right? How do you deal with this at ShellKode? And before that, if you can give us a bit about who is ShellKode? What is ShellKode? When you started, who are the founders? Where are you from?
See, first, thanks for inviting me to this podcast. And I think we did a good work. That's where...
Yeah, that's why you're here. Obviously.
No, thanks for that.
Yeah.
And as before we are going into that engineering mindset between a product software and a service software, right? So I will tell about ShellKode, right? Who we are, what we are doing in. So we are a born in cloud company, which is a new young nerds, tech nerds who started this.
You don't find the word nerds derogatory? You are proud of the word nerds?
No, it's fine, right?
Okay, great.
We don't want to go into that stereotype of ecosystem of building business.
Correct.
So what we thought, right, for us, we are from a tier 2, tier 3 city. When we been working, I was working and we means the team. So I always proud of the team that we are doing in. So when I started my career as an engineer, right? So after a point of time, like after 2 years of time, I was thinking, okay, why can't we do our own startup after some time? Like once we earn good money, we'll bootstrap something, then we will start. All those things started when we been working for somebody. Somebody tells that you're doing good work. Half late, somebody comes and asks, can you support me this? So those things helps us. And then when we had this founder mindset, right? So we were having a thought process, okay, how do we start it? Can we bring a geeks of tech team along with us, and we'll make somebody to join along with us, and we'll start. So we are a tech people, and if you could see, my background is full of technology.
Yes.
So I thought, okay, let us bring one sales folk, one marketing folk, and I'm tech, we'll start company. So that's where we have been.
And where did you start the company?
So we started in 21.
And where?
In Coimbatore.
In Coimbatore. So this is like during the pandemic, you were in the stealth mode?
Yeah, so that's where we started. But the journey started way back in 2016, 2017.
Okay.
So that's where I met my co-founder who is working with me, Bhuvanesh. So he's a person who passed his 10th. And he didn't have a commercially to study, right? So what he did is he went to garments.
Okay.
So with garments, whatever he earns, and especially he's from tier 3.
Okay.
So
where is he from?
He's from in a village in Tamil Nadu called Palladam.
Palladam, okay.
He came from. So immediate option of any tier 2, tier 3 city guys is coaching center.
Yeah.
So he went to coaching center. He did Windows, database, all the courses.
Okay.
But he has this technical inspiration to do. So that's where he used Stack Overflow, Reddit. I think today all generative AI, ChatGPT answering. So during that time, Stack Overflow, Reddit used to help us.
Help answer, correct.
So that's where he grown, and I'm fortunate to meet him in my first organization. So we found, okay, technology geeks not there, the who are inspiring tech folks who can do this. Then we decided, okay, let us do a product company.
Okay.
So then we were in a good era where from a service space to a product space where India is moving towards. So we thought, okay, for a product company, we need a good data guy, a good infra guy, a good ML guy. So we decided to bootstrap. So for that bootstrapping, we were doing a freelancing and we were saving money to the bootstrap for doing a product. Unfortunately, pandemic, we couldn't able to do that. We initiated the ideation MVP, but pandemic, we couldn't start it.
So at this time, are you working or are you, this is on the side or
This is on the side.
Okay.
And
You're
I
still
had a
working.
fortunate founder.
Okay, good.
I was asking when we decided that, okay, we will do it, but we need bit of sales. I went to a founder and asked his Shiva from Voiro. So I went and asked, I wanted to do a startup. And there is another person, RK, who was a CTO. And when we go and asked, he told we were not able to do, but we will not stop you. You can go to all the BUs to run an organization as you are a founder. You know, there are 10 to 12 business unit needs to run
Correct.
seamlessly. So he told you can go all understand things. So we understood each and every business functionality, how it works. So when we come back to start this, right?
You were
COVID.
informed. Yeah.
COVID
Hit.
So then we were thinking in what to do, what's next. But we had mentors, a lot of open-minded people. So they were telling, why can't you do a service since you have this data guy, you have an ML guy, you have an... So we thought, okay, then we are circle back and we are seeing in, and it was so much of saturated market. And two things we figured out. One is a service company being started by 40, 50 year guys who have seen, tenured the market, understand different culture of market, or else there is a strong commercially viable organization come and start this.
Correct.
But how we can able to survive is the question we had. So then we thought, okay, there are two kind of companies we found in market. One is service, one is product. Why can't we be a solution accelerator company? So what we build is, we'll first understand the industries. What are the industry we need to target? So we started building industries like financial, healthcare, retail, logistics. We saw these industries. We understood when startups, the product startups which are being booming in, we thought, okay, let us identify a startup who is coming in retail or a fintech, what problems they may be facing in 1 year.
Yeah.
Or what they will be facing in 3 years or 5 years. So that's where we started this journey of building solutions accelerators.
Nice.
And we started with a 4-member team. Right now, we are a 100+ member team.
Wow. And this is in how many years?
In 2 years.
Excellent.
And these are from tier 2, tier 3 city guys who are coming in, who are urged to do things.
Yeah.
And what we did is, we made these people as a CEO, CTOs, each business unit, we made them as a, because one brand name of organization or the culture or being a vision or being technology cannot be done by founding teams or founders.
Only, yeah.
The last mile people can deliver this and
Correct.
they can adjust. So we always has that philosophy in our organization. So
Correct.
that's altogether a different story.
Yeah. But it's a very interesting story. And you know what actually is, I think the crux of what you're talking about is the fact that, see, you come from Coimbatore. It's not like Bangalore, right? It has its plus points and its limitations. The second one is that you're a young company, and what you were talking about is that most of your engineers are all between 25 and 26 years old, right? And they all have this fire in their belly, right? They're all from like tier 3 cities, and they've always self-helped, and they know what they want to get ahead. So I think altogether, what we found when we worked, as Voiro worked with ShellKode, is this that came out as almost like a force of energy even from ShellKode. And when Suman and Devian were working together, they were on Slack all the time. It was almost like Suman was part of the company. And I remember Devian saying that, listen, I think there's some scope creep happening. And I'm like, just do it. We'll figure out how to make it good later on, right? So even Suman was like telling Devian at some point in time, saying, Devian, yeah, you're too fast. Yeah, you have to wait. Please wait. But never once did we ever find a lack of passion, enthusiasm, and the need to solve the problem fast, right? And I think that is what we really need in the tech industry today. Not just people who stand behind, process, which is one thing to sort of make sure that your company doesn't go under because you don't have process, but this like we spoke about culture earlier, right? It is very apparent as to how you guys have brought it forward. So who are the 4 founders of ShellKode? What are their names?
The founders are Bhuvanesh, who is heading the technology, and Velmurugan, who is taking care of operations, and Nirmal taking care of delivery. These are the 4 co-founders along with me. And especially when you told, you see a lot of energy coming in when you had a conversation, right? There is a parallel other side you should have seen. Initially, these guys might be raw.
Yeah, they're raw. Yeah.
There might be a communication. Let's see, I'm telling something, these guys are taking something in a way, and they're blunt.
Yeah.
Right? There might be, as a founders, we might be, right? We need, like yesterday, right? These guys will tell, no, it cannot be.
Done.
Right? And then, if you could see, that's where the project managers will come.
Yeah.
Other business folks will come and tell nicely, understand these are not in our ecosystem. The reason being is, see, that talent is universal. We believe talent is universal, but opportunities are limited. And we see, being in these cities, right, personally, we are being evaluated through marks. So when I was in a good position where I was studying in a tier 1 college in Tamil Nadu. It's a top 2 college.
When you say marks, you mean your curriculum, your
right.
academics. Yeah,
academics, right?
Somebody, only India we call it marks. Okay, I remember one of my colleagues in the past, when he had gone to the US, he was sitting over there in college, and somebody said, "Hey man, I just want to know what are marks,
awesome.
Right?" And marks are basically your scores or your academics,
right? Yeah. So in academics, being in top 2 college in Tamil Nadu, what happens is, the college criteria is you need to above 60%, 70%.
Correct.
My father made lot of donation to make me study there, telling that my son will get placed. There are hundreds of companies who came in, but because of this benchmark, that the regular stereotype of cutoff, I couldn't even get 70 plus companies. I couldn't even attend.
Okay, because they had an academic cutoff.
Academic cutoff.
Okay,
right. Which means opportunities are getting missed for
you.
Person like me.
Correct.
Right. Imagine the person like Bhuvanesh, who was heading the overall technology, how he would have get an opportunity.
Correct.
Imagine.
That's true.
Being in a type 3. And now he's, for Amazon, he's global contributor ranked 4th.
Nice.
For India, he was 1st in 2022. In 2021, for World MySQL contributor, he was 32, ranked 32. And big Google, he has done some amazing work. For Amazon, he's still an ambassador. He's doing an ambassador job. It's evangelist part of things. So we understood that curriculum is not important. It's an opportunity is important. And for the guys like us, right, getting an opportunity or somebody giving an opportunity is very difficult.
Yeah.
So one thing which we like to change in our ecosystem is we want to be an enablers. For example, we were working in a couple of large projects, and I could name some of the projects, Pay Nearby or Zepto, right? So there are people who are working, and 1 year, 2 year guys, they were handling large requests that even a 5 year guy or a 10 year guy who tenured and do this. But these guys comes, we given the vision, we tell this is a one opportunity we are getting from a customer. If we can able to deliver, there will be 10 other projects. So the one question we will tell is, before taking anything, ask why. Who is going to use this? For what purpose it is? Or whether it's your experiment, or whether it's a product glitch you are solving, or a new acquisition you are doing, ask that. Then try to act. So that is what we are trying to give inputs to these guys. And getting this opportunity, they are in a hustling mode, and they are very humble, especially, these tier 2, tier 3 guys.
Yeah. They're humble, but they're also actually very confident of their competence. They know that they can do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there might be flaws, like there might be some communication flaws, or it's just a guidance or growing together. That helps. That's what we felt, okay, there are things that we need people who can able to front face and tell that we can able to do. And then rest of these armies will come and do it.
Yeah.
So that's what
truly
we are trying
an army,
to do.
but no, if you have grown to 100 people, you really have like your own private engineering army. Yeah.
No, that is another reason that we have a company's vision very clearly. That what needs to do, from the day one we will tell. And we'll tell what is our commercials, what in each customer we are earning. And if because of one engineer or one of the person who can able to earn 10 rupees for an organization, we'll give back 5 rupees. Because this is what we are earning. And we can able to earn, but it's about jointly how we are doing it. Because there are a lot of perceptions comes in. When we go and tell that we can able to do, how will you do, what you can do, that trust factor was very difficult for us to build it. And especially when we started organization, 6 months we didn't have any projects to start with. Because they always come and tell that a stereotype of thing, okay, what credibility you have,
Correct.
what capability you have, at what cost you work. If I tell I can do it in lower cost, then they will
Think that you do low quality.
Its capability comes in. If I tell I will put cost in a factor and then capability in a factor, then they will tell what is the credibility you have.
Correct.
Right. So these are the personas that we solve, and we'll tell, and this is an opportunity we can grow. And imagine there are 40 plus people who are working for past 6-8 months without having settled, taking a leave.
Right.
And we didn't tell that it's anytime they come to office, anytime they go, and it's holiday proper, 5 days holiday. But they know what we are running for.
Correct.
And today, from a tier 2 city, we are the first India's generative AI company. And globally, we are ranked as top 10.
Nice.
So that's where these guys are understanding, okay, we are doing something in market.
They're enthusiastic about it, and they have some serious levels of ownership.
Exactly.
So talk to me about the credibility part of it, right? And how, say, AWS or anybody else has helped you out in terms of setting you up to be able to be credible. See, I found you through AWS. Anjali, who's our account manager, said, I found the perfect company for you and you have to work with these guys. And I'm telling you, it'll work for you guys, right? And that's how we kind of came across to you. How, tell me, how did AWS come into your life, right? And how have they helped you guys in the past?
So AWS is something that we like to work and we like to follow them. See, there are people who inspire us.
I see Pandu is also one of your mentors, right?
So Pandu is our technical mentor.
Yeah.
There is Kumara who does a business mentorship. Kartikeyan who does from marketing. Pramod Boga who does again technical side of. So there are openness from AWS. See, I was doing this technical cloud architect or an engineer, start from a support engineer. I was doing multi-cloud things. With an AWS, what we see is they are customer obsessed and they have 16 leadership principles. If you go through that, it's very, very mind-blowing, or it changed the perception how we look at customers, how we look at people, or how we look at ourselves. That helped us a lot. In terms of AWS and ShellKode relation is like, I always feel it's together one team. And we need that with the OEMs, not just AWS, it's any partnerships with a customer. I always believe in power of 3.
Yes.
That's what I used to tell. One is customer, one is the OEM of cloud, another is we. So how do we do power of 3? And when we started, we were like in 6 months, AWS has different tiers of partnerships to make the credibility factor and capacity factors. So in 6 months, we achieved advanced tier competency, which is AWS. Globally, I think only less than 50 companies have achieved this to become. So when we did this, people started seeing us. And when we are very clear when we started ShellKode, being in solution, so people get confused whether we are a product or a service company.
Yeah.
What's mean by solution? Whether you have a product.
Correct.
Or if I tell solution, in between a new hybrid culture that we are bringing in. So when we bring this, AWS sources, okay, these guys are run blunt and they are heavy tech force companies, right? So they understood, and there is a partner ecosystem they wanted to grow along with. So that's where if you could see large OEMs like Zogo, Amazon, Microsoft, everybody gone with their partner ecosystem. So they saw us, they picked us, and they said, you grow in your way. There are opportunities which we will come to you, which we will need your help, and we'll give you work alone. And we happily took that. And then they found us very interesting story of us. And then they said, okay, what are the things that needed? We will help you in support all the ways. That helped us scaling in. For example, as I said, right, Pandurang, who is from an Indian startup technology business. So he saw a lot of technology in his career.
Yes.
He comes as the way we think. The way he questions, the team will be like, initially people will be like, okay, how do we speak with outsiders, especially from these guys?
Okay.
They understood, okay, now these guys started booking all folks, and even some of our customers, we deliver to customers and we start learning from customers. So that's where AWS relationship was very strong, and we are being very, very cautious with them also. See, today, when they introduced Voiro, right, if we are not doing a good job, It's not ShellKode doing a good job. It's Amazon.
Correct. It is there, yeah. Because they are also they have taken
Their
a
stakes
bet
goes
on
into,
you. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's
their
take-
stakes go, bet
Correct.
goes. And especially on generative AI, when we build solution and when we go to customer, and especially now it's a business shift which is happening, right? If ShellKode is delivering something as a 2-year-old organization, if you're failing on that, it is like AWS is failing. So it's
Yeah.
a huge responsibility coming into act, so that we go and cross-validate what we are doing is correct as a solution.
Yeah.
Is there a demand signal?
Yeah.
Is there what we are doing is what customers wanted or something that, so those kind of inputs that we get. And there are a lot of different ways that they are helping in, and you will be exploring with more with Anjali.
Yeah, of course, of course. This is what, like, I've always marveled at the fact that a company our size had an account manager to begin with. So the first time an account manager got in touch with us, I was like, I thought it was a wrong number, right? Because I was like, who in AWS even talks to you? And then I remember back then Nishant was our account manager. And he's like, no, I want to come to your office. And I was like, this is definitely a hoax. And then finally he came and he said, no, I am from AWS. I was like, okay, fine. Let's talk to you. Because otherwise, we would just deal with the payment portal, and then our engineers would deal with the AWS setup, and that's it, right? And it would be like, that's what AWS is going to give you. But I think they really sort of, they've changed the game in the way their tech is being used because of this entire team, right? And I genuinely appreciate the work that they did, because this was a passion project for me. Like, from last September, I've been trying to bring this up in the company. Ever since, and Pandurang had come to the office and he had sort of spoken about AWS Bedrock. It had just come out in beta at that point in time. And he had said that we can help you if you want to help and all of that. But we went to other vendors to try and find our, fix. We failed. And then finally we came to Anjali and said, please help me, because, this year I need to bring this out. Because, after some time, even tech becomes stale.
Yeah.
And then, your customers also start to look elsewhere to be able to augment your platform. So I wanted Voiro to be able to plant a flag to say that we are giving you AI-enabled tech as well. But not a gimmicky thing, something that will actually help my end user, which is what, when you're saying demand signal, actually saying what do you go to market with, how are you going to go to market with. So where you all helped us also was, along with, of course, our product team as well, is to understand, even when we demoed it, right, to be able to demo the right thing. It was not just for the sake of AI that you're demoing. So people were really sort of taken up by the fact that, questions are being answered that they really had questions on, right? They really wanted answers on. In one demo, there was something that came up and it said 0 or something. There was some delivery data was 0, and the CRO was sitting in the room. Oh my God, he took that guy's case, and that fellow had to go into the ad server to look at whether it was started. The whole meeting came to a standstill because he said, why is this data showing 0 on this? And there was so much chaos. But the thing is that we were at least able to get some emotion out of our customers and some reaction, right? Which is a good thing in a B2B platform. But I remember the first presentation that we made to JioCinema. Devian was, I think, praying to all the gods that it works. Okay. And but the mark of a good demo is also when people get involved. They say, okay, ask it this question, ask it that question, right? So that was fun. Those
are the challenges that you will be,
correct.
Especially taking GenAI to customer place.
Correct.
And the behavior that because it's a new evolving thing.
Correct.
I know you could have prayed.
Yeah, but that is true. But in so many years, I haven't felt this kind of like enthusiasm even from the customer, right? Because it's an idea that everybody gets. You can see it, and you can imagine along with your tech provider as to what all can be done. It's not like server tech or something else, or like even workflow automation, which is, I admit it is a little boring. But when you look at this kind, when you have like an analyst, an AI analyst, and things like that, you suddenly imagine your life with it, and that is something that is very exciting for us. Right? So speaking of AI and tier 2 cities and tier 3 cities, and how ShellKode has been built on the back of this vision of bringing up engineers from all of these cities and giving people opportunities, you have launched something new called AI Frontiers. And this is in association with AWS. So let us know more about it. What's AI Frontiers?
So AI Frontier is something that, taking a step back, the involvement of AI Frontier is, since we started this ShellKode, so what we are trying to do is, we are trying to find out the opportunities. We are trying to create an ecosystem in Tamil Nadu. What we are trying to do on that notion is we go to a lot of incubations, we go to a lot of universities, and we tell how technology, especially for this business, works. Imagine all these technologies which are evolving, which are been coming from US or Seattle, which is coming in, and then like India, which is adapting these technologies. Not so that we build technologies. I've been admiring like when Ola Bhavesh is trying to bring something in his own of the problem. So which has been now done. But most of these are coming from US, and metro cities adapts this after 6 months. And when it comes to tier 2, tier 3 city, it comes in another 2 years. We adapt and come, things gone. And even more, the education system also is not being in the phase of taking this, right? So we do a lot of these stuffs. When we are doing this stuff and we find like-minded people like Alamaram, who is run by Ambi, who is a founder of GoSend, right? So they are enabling where they are getting a lot of companies onboarded, who has a right set of where they are not getting any equity or any cost for it. They are giving free food, they are giving a free space, free logistics. We do enable technology along with them. There are, last year they have enabled 12 plus companies. We've been part of that.
Where are they based?
Coimbatore.
Coimbatore, okay.
So when we build this ecosystem, right, so we go do such stuffs. So when certain people comes and asks us, you don't know to earn money with being India's generative first company from tier 2, and then there are certain investors who comes and asks us. A lot of things are going in. There are 2-3 women who has been part of our enablement. She was telling everybody goes there, then who will be there to enable us?
Enable us, yes.
Right, that created a spark, and today we were in a good position that we are scaling. Organically we are scaling. So we thought, why can't we bring a system? Since generative AI, we feel people is thinking as a business shift. But what underlying we feel is it's a technology shift. Either for certain reasons, either it can be a user experience, or it can be operations, optimization operations, or it can be a cross-sell, upsell, or it's a go-to-market thing.
Right.
So we thought, okay, we'll do AI frontier.
Correct.
With a three-folded conversation. One is how we can able to enable business in India through generative AI. Second, how do we enable women empowerment? So which is
in AI.
In AI, because if you could see the trend of Upworks or freelancers, right? 40% has been increased after Gen, which can enable solopreneurs, especially in tier 2, tier 3. The woman who takes a break in their career.
Yeah.
Coming back is very difficult.
Yeah, we all know this. We all know this very deeply about taking breaks in careers and coming back. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So that with this generative AI, it can able to create a lot of solopreneurs, or it can easily code for you. So they can again come. So it's not about I forget coding. It's about all about logics.
Yeah.
So that's where the NVIDIA founder also mentioned, right? It's not disruption is not through Gen AI. It's about with whose hand it is, right?
Very true.
So that's where we thought, okay, we'll enable women's, which creates an ecosystem for us. And then the third folded conversation is how we can able to make existing workforce and the students to bridge the skill gap. That's where we started. And then AWS has been supporting us through this initiative. And they've been so much interested to bring this initiative to the larger audience.
And how does one participate in it?
So there are two ways into it for the CX, for the founders or for the business owners, where the business owners can register for the CX roundtables, where they can be part of these roundtables. The people who have been already using generative AI, how they got benefit out of it, where they will be part of the mentor of this program. They will come and tell about us. Each industry people will come and speak, so you can able to resonate. And then from AWS industry specialists like Pandurang, Biswa, so all those people also will be coming and speaking in this forum. So it creates awareness and it creates an action item, and we tell art of possibility for the business stakeholders. It's because if you would see, right, you tried 1 year back of generative AI.
My God, yes.
Yeah. So right, that time it's like, what is Gen AI? Then you should be searching for the use cases.
Correct.
Now it is something that, okay, what business value it is giving for you.
Now the vision and the path is so clear now, right? Because you know exactly what you've set yourself up on. Correct.
So that's where we wanted to enable to a lot of entrepreneurs. That is the CX roundtable for business owner. For women's entrepreneurs and others, empowerment, what we are doing is the online courses and offline courses we are building in. For colleges, we are enabling 1 credit course.
Nice.
And then for offline, we are going into some incubations, institutes.
And when you build this content, you are building it personally, or you also have an ecosystem that builds this content and puts it up? Like
for online content, where we are working with AWS to give their existing materials.
Yeah.
and then some are purchased in online. And then offline is, we are having a lot of volunteers now coming.
Okay. So the college credit course is an offline one, right?
College credit code is offline. So what CIT College, which is Coimbatore Institute of Technology colleges, did is they enabled one credit course, which they give 15 marks to students, where they need to be part of 10 hours with ShellKode
Okay.
over 6 months. So
Very
they can,
cool, yeah. Nice.
so that they are getting enabled through this.
Okay.
So this is how we are doing
Nice.
such enablements.
Nice. And do you have like recruitment from these credit courses that are there? Like, are you looking at this being something where people can recruit, or ShellKode recruits as well from these spaces?
So this helps us in identifying the talents. Second is, this helps us to direct to some other organization who's really looking for it.
Yeah.
So this helps us, and we tell that there is something to the management, college management itself. If something is coming in, there are 3-4 organizations who was interested in, you can directly reach.
Right.
Because being in a growing limited set of people, right?
Yeah.
So we may not able to muscle them.
Yeah.
So that's where we tell that you can reach out to them. We may not be a right
Yeah.
person.
We may not be the brokers of this entire deal. Yeah. So then what's next for ShellKode? Like, what's the next 2 years looking like? Like, you're already on a path. You've like grown to 100 people. You're launching AI Frontiers. I know that you're all a force of energy right now. What is, how are you looking at the next 2 years in terms of growth and stuff like that?
So for us, the growth is going to be the expansion. So today we have been well established in India. We are doing business today. Any top brand and each industry, if you could see, ShellKode has been associated and getting associated. For us in next 2 to 3 years is, how do we go globally?
Okay.
And how do we support global as well? But the primary market is going to be India. What we liked is, Uber founder has told that it is very difficult to sell in India.
Yes.
But we feel it is.
You're from India.
Yeah. But for us, we felt creating a right value, giving a respect, and people sees that there is a value, there is a buy-in always. And then now we wanted to take this also globally. The primary market for us will be India, and then we are going globally as well.
Okay.
That is one. And then we are building 4 products that we are going to make our existing workforce as a founders.
Oh, nice.
We wanted to build that entrepreneurship from our team
From
itself.
the team itself. Oh,
So
excellent.
that they are bringing ideas, or we open forum, we tell, they build that and we are taking in.
Nice. Excellent. Okay. Good luck.
Thank
I
you.
think we've had an excellent conversation today. The reason why we are here is thanks to AWS and the fact that Voiro Genie has been launched successfully. You have no idea what a dream it has been, and it's like, and I've barely scratched the surface, and I'm so excited about it. There's a long journey for us to go as well. I look forward to working with ShellKode more, and but thank you for making the time to come on to this podcast.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, and thank you everybody for
Thanks a
listening.
lot.
Thanks Gautam, Leena and Santosh for producing the show, and we will see you next time. Bye.